Warning: this video contains discussion of real crimes, including murder and violence. This content is created strictly for educational and informational purposes. It does not glorify or encourage criminal behavior. Viewer discretion is advised. What if one of America's most terrifying serial killers hid in plain sight for over a decade while bodies were buried just steps away from a public beach? The Gilgo Beach killings shocked the nation, exposed major police failures, and left families demanding answers. Even today, the question remains, who is the Long Island serial killer? The story begins in 2010 on Long Island, New York. Police were searching for a missing woman, Shannon Gilbert, who disappeared after making a frantic 911 call. During that search, officers made a horrifying discovery: human remains along Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach. What started as a missing person case quickly turned into one of the largest serial murder investigations in U.S. history. By the end of 2010, 4 victims were identified, later known as the Gilgo 4. All were young women who worked as escorts and were last seen after meeting clients. Their remains were found wrapped in burlap, placed methodically just yards from each other. This chilling pattern immediately suggested one thing: a serial killer was at work. As investigators expanded the search area, the case grew even darker. Over the next year, more remains were found, bringing the total to at least 10 victims. Some had been dismembered, others dated back as far as the 1990s. Unlike the Gilgo 4, these victims varied in gender and age, suggesting either multiple killers or a single offender whose methods evolved over time. The scope of the horror was becoming unimaginably large. What makes the Gilgo Beach case even more disturbing is what didn't happen. Despite the scale of the murders, the investigation stalled for years. Former Suffolk County Police Chief James Burke was later accused of corruption and interference, allegedly blocking the FBI from assisting with the case. Critics say that ego, secrecy, and internal politics may have cost investigators critical time and possibly allowed the killer to continue their reign of terror. This lack of progress was a source of immense pain for the victims' families, who felt abandoned and ignored. One of the most chilling details is the mysterious phone calls. After some of the victims disappeared, their families received taunting calls from an unknown man. The caller used their loved ones' phones, mocked them for their grief, and even traced calls from busy locations like Manhattan and Times Square. These calls revealed a killer who was organized, technologically savvy, and disturbingly confident, taking pleasure in tormenting the families he had destroyed. For over a decade, the case went cold. Families lost hope, and the killer remained a phantom. Then, in 2023, everything changed. Authorities arrested Rex Heuermann, a Long Island architect, charging him in connection with several of the Gilgo 4 murders. Prosecutors cited a mountain of evidence: DNA found on the victims, cell phone data linking him to burner phones, and incriminating internet searches allegedly tied to the crimes. The arrest reignited public interest and brought a renewed sense of hope to the families who had waited so long for a breakthrough. While the arrest marked a major step forward, many questions remain. Investigators are still working to determine whether Heuermann is responsible for all the victims or only some. The Netflix documentary Lost Girls explores this very uncertainty, showing just how complex and fragmented the case truly is. Is he the sole killer, or is there another predator who still walks free? The Gilgo Beach killings aren't just about one suspect. They're about lost lives, delayed justice, and the devastating consequences of investigative failure. It is a powerful reminder that behind every true crime headline is a family still waiting for closure, for answers, and for peace. As the trial unfolds, new evidence may finally reveal the full truth. Until then, the mystery of Gilgo Beach continues, and the question remains: how many victims are still unheard? Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into cases that have shaped our world.